This is my audience.
What are you? Are you seriously?
Note cards. Hi, I'm Ross Luensmann, and this is my informative speech for class 1315. Now, did you know that the San Antonio Spurs have an NBA record for most foreign-born players on their roster for years 2013 to 14? And do you know how many players they had? The Spurs organization has always depended heavily on foreign or internationally born players to contribute, and they've been very successful in the past. Now, the Spurs have been around since 1967, winning over 20 division titles, making the playoffs 24 out of the past 25 years, with 5 NBA championships in between. Now, growing up in San Antonio or around, you grew up a Spurs fan. There's rich tradition and great fans throughout the whole San Antonio area. Now, San Antonio is a small market organization. They don't have many big name guys that contribute on their team, like maybe the Los Angeles Lakers or the Chicago Bulls. They've always had multiple guys that have contributed from, let's say, France or Italy, Argentina, or for example, Tony Parker, who is their main point guard, who's been a Finals MVP and 4-time NBA champion, is from the country of France, coming over when he was at the age 17 and staying true to the San Antonio team to this day. Now, these international players have seemed to have a positive effect on the NBA organization as a whole for globalization and international revenue. Now, data compiled says that in the 2013-14 season that these foreign or international born players contributed to at least 32 of the 62 wins during that championship year that helped them win the championship, which is over half of their wins came from foreign-born players, which is pretty amazing. Now, the Spurs are only one team that have been using this in the past. For recent studies show that internationally born players have grown over the years. To 2013-14 season, there being over 90 internationally born players in the NBA. I have some slides here. The first one here shows some main contributors from the 2014 season. The first being Thiago Splitter from Brazil. You have Patty Mills from Canada. You have Boris Diaw from France. Tony Parker from France. And here it kind of reiterates that. You know, the recruiting of foreign-born players is not an easy task. It starts with hard, diligent work for many years, watching them come up the ranks. Now, this has helped globalize the NBA organization, or you can even say with the economy as a whole through the whole organization. For the National NBA Players Association has said that the American enterprises today has shown that foreign-born players with native-born players can mix together well to do well and win, and it's been proven. Now, NBA is a business to make money, and with these foreign-born players, what it does is that these popular guys like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, they do well over here in the States, winning championships, and in regards to their home country, they're national icons. Like, for example, Manu Ginobili, who's been with the Spurs for, say, 12, 13 years now, and won 4 championships, is from Argentina. And he still goes back to Argentina to play in the World Cup for basketball, them winning the whole thing, gold medal in 2003, where he has his own statue of him in Argentina, where his success over here in the United States has made him popular over there. And with that, they create endorsement deals, like Tony Parker. Tony Parker is a huge icon and the highest paid athlete in France, where he has endorsement deals with Nike, Subway, McDonald's, just to name a few. What this does is these big United States corporations can sponsor these foreign players and pretty much get their word out or get their business name out in other countries. Another aspect of it is these foreign-born players create a lot of revenue or international revenue from family and friends back in their home country wanting to buy jerseys, wanting to come to the States to visit, to watch games or ticket sales, all kinds of stuff like that. And when they come, they have to stay in hotels, they have to, use airlines, and it just creates a big pool of revenue for the whole NBA as a whole. So, I mean, that's a big mark of success for the NBA players today, especially international ones, have become so popular. And even as a kid, I remember you watch all these players on TV, watching them play, and you kind of get a mental image in your mind of how they are, how they maybe are off the court. And it always surprised me when they'd interview these players after the game, and they could barely speak English. It was kind of mind-blowing to me, but it just kind of shows you that they come from all these different ethnicities, and yet they still play together well on the court. Now, in conclusion, my proof is presented to you where I gave you multiple examples where the revenue and it helps globalize, bring companies from not just the United States, but to all these different countries. And like I mentioned before, and to the 2013-14 season, there was 92 international players in the NBA coming from over 39 different countries or provinces. So, I mean, that's a wide variety of places where you can get your name brand out there and pretty much solicit your goods. Now, it could be in fact argued that these foreign-born players have helped generate high revenues for the NBA as an organization, whereas in 2011 and 12, the mark was, I think, $11.4 million is what the NBA earned. To 2014-15, it was over, I think, $13.6 billion, where it dramatically jumped. And in that span, there was a large number of foreign athletes that became very popular in the league. So there seems to be a correlation between foreign-born players and the revenue that they can create for the United States as a whole, and actually the globalization of countries interacting with each other and getting along to create success. This is my